And we have a mysterious special guest, Dark Star, hiding in the shadows that might join once dinner's done. Julia, dear, you're muted. Shem, you just finished one of... Shem is quite like an awesome, good person, like together individual, but his channels seem very polar opposite, almost bipolar. Shem Jacobs, under his name, is great research, and he goes out to local mounds, pyramid sites, and checks out the ancient maps, and then goes and sees them in modern day. And you're hopefully going to a site tomorrow that sadly it looks like they're destroying and taking apart another potential buried pyramid in your area.
Yeah, that's ridiculous because we're not, say for example, you buy property and you find a mound on your property, you're not allowed to actually excavate it or look into what's under there. But anytime they want to build a new business complex or neighborhood, they have no problem with getting rid of a mound. But I mean, I'm not 100% sure if it's a mound. It's not listed in any database that I have access to, but it looks like it is. It looks like a mound, and I don't know. I'm gonna go get a closer look. It's a construction
If it's shaped like a pyramid, if it's oriented like a pyramid, and it smells like a pyramid, it's probably a pyramid.
Well, we can start with that. Actually, that's fun. I'll just play the. I saw it when I was on my way somewhere, and then I went and drove over to check it out, and it ended up being a construction site, and they were like destroying it to get rid of it to put something like houses there. But on this map that I have, it does look like it could possibly be on the map, and it's just hard to tell for sure. But yeah, this is the footage I took. Hopefully, it plays at a decent quality. But it's off of the National Road, Broad Street, that goes all the way from the east coast of California, apparently. And this is close to a lot of other earthworks and mounds in this area. So
it's an alignment all the way to California, you said?
Yeah, it's Highway 40. I guess it goes all the way across the United States, but here we go.
Is that the same like John Levi one that goes through like Utah and stuff, or?
Yeah, I think so.
I
don't know for sure off the top of my head, but it could be. All right.
Man, you guys are already in alignment and you don't even know it, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's really blurry. Well, I zoom in here in a second on it. But this is incredibly blurry. Let's see if I can make it.
Seeing some potential mounds with free coverage.
Wait, so this isn't the mound that everybody talks about? This is a different mound?
Where? No, this is a different mound.
Like hundreds. You visited like at least 50 or maybe even 100 yourself in the last year or two. Right?
Wait, so this isn't the mound that Graham Hancock went to that aligns with the sun?
No, he probably went to the Miamisburg Mound or some of the other earthworks. There's some in Circleville as well that are really impressive. This is close to other mounds in the area, but this is just out. This is out on someone's old property, but they recently sold it to a housing development. So you can see how, like right in the middle of the screen behind the street, you can see how big it is. It's got that mound type of shape. So I just looked up how to get over there, and I ended up going over there later in the video. But they're destroying it. They're not adding stuff to this. They're taking it away because it's covered in vegetation. But when I get over there, you can see how they're digging away at it.
Oh, that's so powerful what you're doing.
Documenting it before it's gone, and power to you, Shem, and that's what it's all about, and what I encourage everybody to do, because you'll be surprised what you'll find in your local area, because it's literally everywhere, hidden in plain sight. And a lot of the ways Shem finds this is going through the old maps, the ancient ones that are like, oh, that's nothing. No, that's just a mystery, a legend. No. And then you go there and it's like, oh, sure enough, there's a castle. Sure enough, there's a pyramid. Sure enough, there's a lost city. And you can clearly see, look at that. Yeah, that was a great picture there, though. You're showing the mound and that they're tearing it down, and they've got a freaking trailer of wood to build something in its place.
Yeah, even that entrance that I came in, if you look at it on Google Earth, there used to be a bunch of trees there, so they just recently got rid of those trees because I was trying to figure out the best way to get a view of it, and that's how I found this spot. But okay, so this is downtown Columbus right here. As you can see, this is like the hub of the Hopewell and Adena mound building culture. But you see all these red triangles represent mounds, and then the lines are different various
That's like
earthworks.
the Columbus, Ohio metropolitan area, essentially, with what
All of the red is
looks like at
mounds?
least 100,
Yeah.
if not 200
Whoa.
mounds just around metropolitan Columbus, right? In Franklin County, just in the one county.
Yeah, this is just Franklin County, but this is where the capital of. Yeah, so this is it's not like this is a tiny area. For example, where it says Brown over here on the left side, to get over to where it says Jefferson, it'd probably take about 45 minutes.
So 200, so 100 or 200 miles, sort of thing across.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure, but okay. So we're gonna follow this. So you see, right in the middle, there's two mounds right above where it says Columbus. That road in between those, that's Broad Street or Highway 40 that goes across the entire country. So we'll follow that out here. I don't know if you can see my mouse or not, but if not, on the left side of the map where it says Ohio Erie, zoom in a little bit more. Below this Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Chicago Railroad, that's kind of what we're looking at. So you can see that there's a road down here close to Darby Creek that has some sort of earthwork. Can you see my mouse, by the way, or no? If you can't see my mouse, I'm trying.
I don't think so. It's
Okay, I'll zoom in as much as possible then. So right to the left of where it says Alton, right here, this is the area kind of where that mountain would be, because right here where it says Rome, that's the new Rome area. This mound up here, right below this Pittsburgh Cincinnati Railroad, I'm gonna go check that out. I think it's behind this elementary school called Prairie Lincoln, because there's like this strange wooded area behind the elementary school for some reason. So I'm gonna go in there and check it out and see if it's in there.
So, man, good on you. You'll probably find at least one, if not more. Like, it happens every time, and where and how they hide them. And I'm making plans for next year and going down to the Montana megaliths, because the second half of the show I'll go over some of my pictures of where I all explored. So I'm gonna go retrace southern Alberta, all of the sites I explored this year, go back to them on my way down to Waterton Park on the US-Montana border. And there's actually you can take a ferry on the Waterton Lake to this glacial lake that is on the divide between US and Canada and cross in, but it's called Crypt Lake. And I suspect that there's probably buried temple megalithic crypts potentially underneath the lake. It's quite a clear lake, and you can see this like over like ledge that's like just covering everything, and it looks like it goes. I don't know. It's very sus, but I hope to cross into Montana and explore that next spring, summer, and then go down into the Giants Playground, Montana megalith area, and Sage Wall, and see all of that.
Sounds sorry. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, there's a tons of mounds up here. One interesting thing about this map too is that you have these pyramidal type drawings that look like they could be something massive. I'm not sure what they represent. There aren't any examples in the book of what they are, but there's at least like 5 or 6 within the Columbus area. But the next area I want to talk about is up here. I went here as well, and all that's left up here is a single mound called Jeffers Mound. But it used to be earthworks and a lot more, as you can see by this map. So notice how it says the area of this earthwork is 6 acres. It's what I didn't realize this at first, but I was excuse me, I was speculating that the hillsides leading down to the river could have been earthworks because they all looked like they're massive mounds, and this is kind of giving evidence for that, because all we have left of this is the mound, really. There's a picture of what it looks like in the one, but
I suspect you're right. It's usually the case that they come in these clusters going and like descending down towards the rivers usually, and usually in some sort of astrological solar alignment as like the majority of them being aligned with the equinox and solstice events. Happy
Yes, this
equinox,
it
everyone,
was as
too.
well. This is what today. It's
Sorry,
just in the
before
middle
you
of a
continue,
neighborhood.
I gotta pause and state that tomorrow, Shem, you have to make it out because it's just a couple days after the equinox. So it's like the shadows will reveal anything still, like, you know, it won't be like perfect, but you'll still be able to get pretty much the same alignments with the effects of the equinox right now that a lot
Nice,
of these
yeah.
places are built like and designed for, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much the only day I can make it down there because they shouldn't be working on Sunday. Other than that, they're probably there every day. But yeah, this is in the middle of a neighborhood surrounded by pretty massive houses. Uh, you can see it's huge. There's like a big rock on the side of it as well, and then around the front of it, there's the remains, I guess, whatever's left of some of the earthworks.
Right, like undeniable.
I
And
climbed
like
to the top of it.
they're
It's
just
pretty
allowed
tall.
to bulldoze these, like any contractor builder is allowed to just bulldoze, destroy these without any care. But if you're a private owner and you want to do like an archaeological historical dig on it, you go to jail. Correct?
Yeah, they have the Mountain Protection Act as signed in like 1991 or something. But yeah, I mean, pretty cool site. It sucks that there's not more to it, but I do speculate that some of these hillsides are part of the earthworks. I'll show you. I'll show you what the drive-in looks like too, so you can see what I'm talking about. And that map we were just looking at kind of verifies it a little bit because you saw how small the mounds were compared to the earthworks. Yeah, there's a pretty cool tree. It's kind of old. It had a hole in it. Probably an owl that lives in there or something.
What? Look at that, right? Like at the center of it.
What color is the owl?
I didn't actually see it, but that same day I did see an owl later on. It was pretty cool. It was staring in the woods because I was looking in north of Columbus, where the Wyandotte Indians were. There's a bunch of parks where you can just walk around in the woods. So I was looking for stuff in there. There was a sinkhole. It was kind of cool, but I didn't find anything else. My dogs were also kind of tired, so. But yeah, see, this is pretty massive. All right, so let's check out the drive-in real quick, and then we'll move on.
What color was the owl that you saw?
I think it's like gray and black. I have a video on my page. All right, so I'm sorry if it's skipping. Probably is, but yeah, like this hillside right here. I don't know, just
Most
everything
likely
about it seems like it's.
terrible.
Yeah, it's just too perfect. And to the south here, like 4 miles south of here, I swear there's a giant mound that someone built like a house on or something, because there's no way that the earth is just randomly shaped like that. And they have it all blocked off with this fence, but there's a spot where you can kind of peek in, and it looks like there's some stuff going on in there too.
Guaranteed you're right, and that I can't state enough how crucial it is right now for everybody that if there's these pyramid mounds that you suspect or see in your area, the sunrise, sunset, and noon are the time to go over the next few days while it's still the sun and the moon are still close in the astrological alignments to this equinox, and that all of these terraformed structures and like earthworks were built to like as these like never ending or eternal grand celestial clocks, right? Like that if you learn how to read them and watch them and document them, it's like these are still solar calendars that work to these days, and that stuff like the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit, I guess, more the legends of the moons showing light at certain times and sun showing light. But if you've actually been to places like Chichen Itza in Mexico that I myself has, Julie have, we were talking about it before we went live. and it's like designed with such insane acoustic engineering. It does this like sonar or Cesar. It's like a sound wave thing that you clap and it like shoots it back at you. It's like it's insane. It's nuts. Like
It sounds like a bird.
yeah, right. It literally sounds like a bird. It's like and it just shoots by. It's so yeah. It's something you can't really describe. You can only experience. But the amount of insane like acoustic engineering and physics like that's required to be built into something to be able to do that. Like we haven't even been close to replicating that today. Like only now can we probably run simulations with the AI programs to like figure it out and start probably reproducing it through 3D printing. But I don't see anybody moving mountains and making giant pyramids today, yet alone just experts like Sam digging them out and legends like Shem going and documenting them while people are trying to destroy them.
Well, the most fascinating thing to me about the earthworks is that they're found worldwide, and in ancient sources like Herodotus or Diodorus of Sicily, when he describes the Scythian peoples, or basically what you consider to be the Tartars, they talk about them building similar structures or mounds. And for example, they talk about a legendary queen known as Semiramis, who basically conquered from the Levant over to Asia, similar to what we've talked about in the past. And she was like a total badass, and she like even the Persian armor was based allegedly off of her because they were so inspired by her. But anyways, she was said to have traveled across Asia and created something called the works of Semiramis. And this is in Diodorus of Sicily. He's reporting this, and she allegedly built some of the ancient wonders of the world as she was traveling across. But anyways, they talk about her building mounds specifically for her husband when he
Sicily?
died.
Wait, what about Sicily?
That's the guy that this is sourced
his
from.
Name.
Also,
His name.
yeah,
Okay.
Like and then Herodotus also talks about her a little bit too. But
usually when someone's name is a place, it usually means that they're from that place.
no, he is, yeah. But I mean, one of the
Sorry,
that
I'm
ancient.
Sicilian, so I was like, what?
I found out I was too, so I'm interested in going there someday because my grandmother told me that. I asked her at her birthday party this year. I was like, I'm very curious about her past, and she kind of said that her parents came over from Sicily. I was like, oh, that's pretty exciting.
Shem's actually part of the Sicilian mafia, everyone.
We welcome you,
in
Shem.
case you want to know what, it's not a CIA era alphabet agency he works from. It's a family, all right? And yeah.
The family we don't talk about.
So one interesting thing though is that with that Semiramis woman, she, like I was saying, she was said to build an ancient wonder of the world. It was like an obelisk apparently that was in a dedication to her husband, which represents like the whole god thing, because people say Semiramis is the inspiration for like Inanna and Ishtar and all that good stuff. But yeah, but that I can't find any information about this obelisk. Like when you look up ancient wonders of the world obelisk or the works of Semiramis, if you even look that up, nothing comes up on the internet. So there's probably some books out there that has some information. But
what
as far
I'm
as the
say is remote viewing a location for that TV show on Vice. There's an episode about Inner Earth, but what I came across is they had all these obelisks, but they were quartz. And they also use them to like program the water. So there's something so significant with obelisks that I actually even have a ring. I have a few rings that are like a quartz obelisk. So I think it goes way, super far back and has a huge significance.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's a possibility of it being used for energy. Like the guy, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, Praveen Mohan, where he kind of talks about the lingams and how they are used for energy and stuff like that. I'm sure there's some sort of connection between that, but it's not really my forte. But back to this